Hi, welcome to We Use Our Powers for Good. My name is Dory. This is my sister Meg, and here we go. So we're gonna start off. Tonight's our first night, or today. We'll each talk about ourselves, and then we'll kind of give like a timeline of our family and our history, so you can see maybe where we're gonna be going over the next time that we're connecting. Do you want to start?
Sure, and also why we're doing this. I am her baby sister. We are 10 years apart, and I live out in California, and I come back here to Minnesota every 6 weeks. So we have a unique experience of jumping into each other's lives every 6 weeks, and it's always this sort of magic, sparkly, I never miss a beat moment.
She's always here, like at the perfect time when something happens.
Yeah.
So all of this will happen when she's here over these 5 days, and then we won't be filming when you're not here.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just, whatever's happened in the last 6 weeks.
Yeah. So I'm a hair and makeup artist. I come back to Minneapolis and have a full clientele here, and then out in Minneapolis or in California, I have a bridal business, and I focus on organic and clean products, and I try to be as sustainable as possible. And I plant a tree in honor of all my people.
Aw, like all the brides that you do?
Everybody.
Like, do you have a tree for me?
I do. I have many trees.
Oh, Meg.
Just Johnny Maggie seed.
Johnny Appleseed. I don't know if that landed.
Maggie Appleseed.
Okay.
Wow.
You digress.
I have 2 cats. I'm married, and
In that order of importance.
That order, not of importance. And I think that's all I need to say for now.
Okay. I am a physical therapist by degree, and I say that because I don't really do a lot of just straight on PT anymore. I do a lot of nutrition work. I do what's called functional medicine, and that's kind of big picture medicine. So between us, we are invested a ton in health and a ton in organic and clean, and that's been a process. We didn't start doing it all yesterday. I own my own business too, and I've owned it for 25 years. Woot woot. I have 2 kids. They're extraordinary little humans. They literally, as of today, are almost the same size. They're 12 and 14, and the 12-year-old caught up to the 14-year-old, and I'm having a hard time today, but that's a whole other thing.
Mama.
And I'm divorced, and then recently fianced. Fianced to just a really, I was going to say extraordinary, but I just said extraordinary about the kids. I have a lot of extraordinary people in my life. And we have a cat and a dog. So that's kind of my summary. Did I miss anything?
No.
Okay, so then let's just kind of start with mom and dad and just trickle along.
Yeah.
Do you want me to start?
Yep.
Okay. So, our mom and dad are from California. I mean, and really, if I had my way, I would live there too. Megan lives there. She said that. Our dad was a Catholic priest.
He was born in 1923 in Baton Rouge.
He was
24.
born in just hold on, 1928.
28?
Yeah.
See, you're the.
And then mom was born in 43. They were 15 years apart. So our dad was a Catholic priest, and he'd been a priest for 15 years when he met our mom. Our mom was working at a gift shop, and he would come in and buy gifts for people that were part of his church. And I mean, for those of you that are old enough, can you say Thornbirds, right? I mean, it's like...
My name is Megan Elizabeth.
Who apparently is one of the characters in the movie.
She's the main character.
Oh my gosh. So we should watch that together sometime.
I've seen it.
I mean, together we should watch it.
It's crazy.
So
but they both had passed before I learned this information.
Right, but we'll get there. So our mom and dad meet. They have this love affair. They get married. They have our older brother, Jerry. They had him in Puerto Rico. So, scandal. They have to leave California, travel across the country.
Scandal. We leave.
We have to extricate ourselves. They have Jerry, and then a year and a half later, they have me. I'm born in Cincinnati. Then our next brother, Brian, not quite a year younger than me, also in Cincinnati. Then they move to Detroit and have Michael. And then they move to Dubuque and have you. Oh, that's adorable. So, so then it will just, again, I'm going to try and summarize. Our dad literally empties the house and leaves my mom with 5 kids. And she's at a PTA meeting and comes home and he's gone. And so that kind of starts this whole...
And why?
Why what?
Why did he leave?
He was an abusive alcoholic, and she asked him to leave, which I didn't know that till we got older. So they divorced, complicated and hard. You know, obviously we're going to come back to all this stuff.
Of course.
Right. Complicated and hard, and our older brother was in recovery by the time he was 15. He was alcoholic. Yeah. So then lots of life and stuff, and then our mom dies when you just finally got her last child off into the world. Not really, you're at college.
Mm-hmm.
And she died. Meg was 19, I was 29. So our mom died, and then, you know, life happening and babies being born and marriages and divorces. And then our dad died 8 years ago. And then 3 months ago, like I'm skipping lots of stuff, and then 3 months ago, our brother, how do you want to say that?
He took his life.
He took his life. So, we got lots of things to cover here. So and then the other part of, or a lot of this then is, you know, for me as a clinician, and I work a lot with people and try and demonstrate good behavior and different things to people, I think we learn a lot of things and try and be healthier and want to do better, but we don't know how to use these tools that we have. And so I believe there's a ton of value in watching people use these skills, and use really lovely human being skills, and then kind of explaining what we're doing or what we've done. And so one is sharing our story and being vulnerable, and we've been and done lots of things and are willing to experience lots of things, and then also just supporting each other as we tell stories and modeling good human being behavior, right?
Sounds good.
That's great. Is there anything you want to add to that storyline?
I love hearing you tell our history because you're so great with numbers and remember things. And
Yeah. I mean,
yeah. So, and thinking of, again, legacy sounds like or ancestry, but doing this from that perspective of showing what healing can look like.
Yeah.
You know, I do condone what Jerry did. However, that was his choice. That was his life.
For sure.
And I think Hetty healed some traumas and let us in.
Sure.
Let him heal with us.
Yeah.
Which I think is a bigger piece that people need to hear.
Right. What that looks like.
Yeah. Normalizing not being okay and
Right.
still asking for help.
Right. And I think, like, when I think about, like, you saying that and just all the ways that we don't know how to show up, or we don't know how to be different. Like, we were just, you know, talking yesterday, and we were talking about our brother who passed away, talking about he hadn't done enough healing to understand that when the rest of us siblings who are healthy, we do our work and we're talking, we're genuinely concerned and caring about you. We're not gossiping and talking behind your back.
Right.
So even just someone that doesn't have some of those tools, just having a reflection on what that looks like. Like, I think back to, you know, early in my life in my 20s, and, you know, I was maybe talking about people and talking behind their backs. I didn't have tools to say, I'm uncomfortable when you act that way, or
Right.
I don't feel good when you say those things to me. So the only thing I knew how to do was, when they weren't around, I'm like, oh, they're a dick, or they suck, right? Versus now I would be able to identify what I own about that, and possibly what their behavior was, and boundaries and different things. But that's all stuff that we learn, and I don't think that not everyone knows what that is or how to use it. So,
Right.
yeah.
So thinking about for me, I don't have children, all of my nieces and nephews. And for us to sort out these stories that were folklore for me,
Right.
going into these stories,
Right.
these traumas that technically we should have had a different outcome based off of our beginnings.
For sure.
And showing how you can still be all of the things,
Right.
hold space for all of them,
Right. Whatever that means.
whatever that means,
Right.
and heal.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, and then the bigger part of the healing is, like, well, what's the point of all this, right? Because in some ways it never stops. The minute that you start to do work on yourself and you're committed to that, and then you have other people in your life that are doing it with you, so you're kind of like supporting each other and doing it together. The point is that we get to be more present and really authentic and listening and, like, fully experiencing things and tons of fucking joy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then when something like our brother dying happens, we get to just allow ourselves to be super sad and experience that too, which, as hard and awful as that was, it feels way better than, whoop. I remember when our mom died and I had people say to me, oh, you'll be fine. And I was like, that's a bizarre thing to say, but no one wants to see you be uncomfortable because they're not uncomfortable. So like, oh, I'm just going to put the lid on my sadness and move on with my day. It actually feels way better to be super sad.
Yeah.
And then be sad with lots of people and talk about that and feel that. But that's the gift of the work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anything else you want to?
I think that's good for now, right?
Okay, so that's our little intro spiel.
Yeah.
Our glockenspiel. What's glockenspiel?
Oh no, I think it's
An instrument?
know. Yes.
I'll have to look that up later. Okay, well, thank you for joining us for our introduction, and we look forward to seeing you soon.